My Kaizen teams have done some amazing things throughout the years, and I've been honored to be part of their success. However, I knew all those efforts would be for naught if I didn't teach them a way to sustain their gains. Therefore, over the years, I built a thing I call the Wheel of Sustainability. Now, the wheel is basically 8 spokes in one hub, read clockwise around the wheel, with 8 components of things that we try to implement in every Kaizen event to ensure that whatever they do lives on. The first component and spoke is notification. Now, notification means you're going to tell people about the changes that have been made and give them the opportunity to ask questions. This is very traditional, but critical. Everybody needs to know about the change that's been made. The second spoke is training and review. Now, in the traditional sense, when we train, we tell people what has changed, and we just hope that they remember that. But adults don't really learn that way. They retain about 3% of what's said to them. So what I've learned is by telling, then demonstrating, and then letting them trial it, they'll retain a lot more, and it'll bring out the truly relevant questions rather than just heads nodding to say that they understand. So that's what I call training and review. The third spoke is visible evidence. What I want to be able to tell is that the change is being followed exactly as expected from 15 feet away in less than 10 seconds. So it has to be obvious, it has to be visible, it has to be easy to understand if people are doing the right thing, and to help people if they're not doing it the right way. The fourth spoke is having all tools available. And what that means is the thing I need to do the job should be within arm's reach, in my sight line, easy to get to, impossible to lose, and easy to put away. Therefore, no one's ever searching for what they need. It's there when they need it, it's safe to use, and there never is a delay when they're trying to do their work. Now, this can be physical tools, and this can be virtual tools, meaning that the database that you need, the files that you need, the paperwork you need, that's all there where you can find it. You don't have to sort through a binder to look for things. It's obvious and available to you. The fifth spoke is clear benefit. The point is, does this really help you do your job in an easier, safer, and less stressful way? If you believe it does, you're more likely to do it. So when I'm working with Kaizen teams, I always have them test their new idea on somebody that wasn't on the team. That way they can find true feedback, unfiltered, of whether this really helped that person. If it doesn't really help the person, they're most likely not going to follow the new way. The next spoke of the wheel is layered auditing. And what that means is it's not only the responsibility for the person doing the work to make sure they're doing it right, but it's also the responsibility of their supervision and the leadership to come out and take a look and make sure things are working as they should. And if things are not working as they should, they're supposed to go and help. They need to make sure that the person doing the work knows that they're supporting their efforts and that they want them to do it the safest, easiest, simplest way possible. This also creates a two-way learning between the supervision, leadership, and the person doing the work, and it reinforces how important the change is. The seventh spoke is accountability. And what I mean by that is not the person doing the work's accountability. What I mean is if the leadership manager or supervisor sees something not going as it should, they should not go on to their next meeting. They should go visit with the person doing the work and reinforce and reemphasize how critical it is to do it the right way. So they are accountable to be part of the solution as well. They are not accountable to find blame. They are accountable to provide help. Okay, the final spoke is recognition. And recognition is not giving of prizes and awards. It's cause and effect. It's knowing that we made a change, and because we made a change, something was better, something was easier, something was safer. So it's storytelling. It's people seeing that they organized an area and it made their work simpler to do, and then sharing that story with others so that they won't be so skeptical and maybe they'll try the new way. In order to have the strongest wheel possible, you have to have a strong hub, and that hub is leadership commitment. Leadership has to be committed, and visible around their commitment, around all 8 spokes. When they do that, teams have the best chance to succeed, and their results and improvements will live on. So how do I use the wheel of sustainability? So what I do is I teach my Kaizen teams the wheel, the spokes, and the hub. And the hub is already done because the Kaizen's been approved and the team has the authority and the empowerment to implement their solution. So that's great. But the spokes are not that obvious to teams. So what I do is I teach them, and then I actually demonstrate how we would use each spoke to their solution. And then I let the team actually test any of their other solutions against each of the spokes. If they're missing one, I challenge them until they come up with an attempt to use each of those 8 spokes. It's never perfect, but at least if they're trying to, they get the best chance to succeed. I hope this story provided you with some inspiration to revisit your own processes. I have a lot more I'd like to share. Head over to pi-partners.com to learn how I can help. And check back from time to time for more Kaizen stories.